All right. Oh, wait a minute. See if people make it back. My stream settings are messed up. It's got it set for normal latency. It should be ultra low. I don't know why. But yeah, that was weird. I don't know what happened with that. Um, it just crashed and that was it. It said went to blue screen, said something went wrong, gathering information, your computer needs to restart. I don't know. I'm wondering if I need to kind of build a new computer. Um, I don't really want to spend the money on it, but I don't know. It's acting weird. It has a little hum today. It's not a temperature thing. I mean, right now I'm running 52 degrees Celsius on my CPU, 57 on my GPU. For some reason, I don't know what caused it. The disk will run up to 100% and then drop back down without me even doing anything. Um, I shouldn't be having issues. I don't have like the top processor. I've got an 8700K i7, um, which should be enough to do anything. Hey Joe, I live barely, barely. It's computer's being stubborn or something. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, I've been debating on upgrading the computer, but I didn't really want to put the money into it yet. Because I think if I do an upgrade, I mean, half the stuff I'm still going to use. I'm going to reuse my RAM. I'm going to reuse the video card. I'm going to reuse the fans and stuff. But what I'll probably end up doing is I'll go with like I'll get a new. I have to get a new motherboard, get a new processor. I'll go like with a 10800 or something like that. I'm just talking. It's a stream. Even if there's nobody here, I gotta talk. That's the life of a streamer. Sometimes we sit here and we talk to ourselves. Um, no, Andel was here, Daniel was here. Um, there's a couple people were here, and then my screen went blue and it crashed. I don't know if they made it. I don't know if they made it back or not. But no, I was just talking about different things, my computer setup and everything. I had an ultra wide monitor that I bought, installed. Didn't really like it. I mean, it was nice with the having the stream wall and everything all on the stream, but or all on the one screen, but I didn't really like it. So I ended up sending that back today. I had another video card that I had ordered that I tried canceling before it shipped and it didn't cancel. So I had to send that back. So I just sent both of those back today. Um and so I've been debating, thinking about what I want for if I want to upgrade a computer, what I want to do, or get a new monitor. Lots of thought, lots of wondering. Got my ballot in, so I got to fill this thing out. Most of it, I know who I'm going to vote for. Few of the measures I need to do some more research on and make sure I'm making the right choice on. Um, one of them, it kind of, I don't like the idea of it because it has two different things involved in it. That's Measure 110. It's um, provides statewide addiction / recovery services. Marijuana taxes partially finance it. Uh, reclassifies possession penalties for specific drugs. Now, the first half I agree with. I think we need programs. We need to get people off these drugs. We need some type of system because otherwise, I mean, our homeless population, would crime, everything is just continuing to increase. So we need to do something. Call it war on drugs, call it whatever you want, but there needs to be something that is put in that tries to address these issues more directly. But the other part of the measure, I know it reclassifies possession of certain drugs, so like heroin and everything like that. It changes it to like a misdemeanor, so it's like a slap on the wrist, basically. So I don't know. I don't know if I feel comfortable for that. Now, reducing the the punishment, like what you can, how you can be punished for it. I could understand, but I don't know. I don't know how I feel on that yet. I need to do some more thinking on it. Because I don't think that people should be spending more time in jail for doing drugs than somebody who has done a serious assault or murder or anything like that. Portland Metro, southeast Portland, southeast side of Portland. So I'm not in Portland city limits, so I don't get to vote for the mayor there. But I do speak a lot about the mayor of Portland because Portland's the major city in the area, and so it affects my property values and our surroundings. If Portland goes to crap, the surrounding area is going to go to crap because it's a hub, and companies aren't going to want to be here with a garbage hole like Portland, whatever that's moving towards. So that's why I'm very vocal about Portland and everything. It's a major city. I would like to go downtown and be able to walk around and enjoy it because downtown Portland is beautiful. Get rid of all the um, homeless and everybody down there. Do something about that. I mean, because everywhere you go in Portland, there's just tents everywhere along the freeways, downtown. Last time I was downtown, somebody was hunched over, tripping on some drug, meth, I don't know, right outside the Fed building. I mean, people are on drugs right outside the law enforcement facilities, and that stuff needs to get cleaned up. And then the whole mess of the whole Antifa, BLM stuff, all that stuff going on downtown. That's well, it's not just downtown. It's different portions of town, but that's creating such a mess, and yeah, not very attractive for Portland. Um, but yeah, so I've just been trying to figure out what I want to do for monitor. Do I want to do something with my computer now or later? I'm running air cooled right now, but I know if I do an upgrade, I'm going to switch to liquid cool. I'm going to get a LED on there so I can have like a little LED image on there. Put my little avatar on there or something. Make it look more attractive. But I don't know if I want to spend that money yet because I've just spent a bunch of money already on the video card and everything. I'll get some of the money back because I sent back the monitor. Maybe I'll hold off on a monitor right now and use the money that I spent on the monitor to do the upgrade. Because what am I looking at right now? How much is this upgrade going to cost me? System builder. Holographic things. I don't know if I. Hey there, one girl. How you doing? I don't have any streams up. They're at the Big Red House, I believe, tonight. So I don't know what's gonna happen tonight. It looks like they might be marching now, but we'll see. Steel team is up. But no, I was just talking about how I took my ultra wide. I just sent my ultra wide back. I just wasn't happy with it. My computer just had a blue screen and decided to restart randomly. Been debating on upgrading my computer to what? I don't know. You knew it. What did you know? Upgrade to a Dell, the Pentium 4. We going back in time like 20 years? No, I'm looking at probably like the i9. I don't know if I want to go with the 10900 or the 850. Kind of leaning towards the 10900. So I think that's like the highest one right now. But between that and the liquid cooler and the motherboard, I am looking at $1,200. And so that's, I mean, that covers the cost of what that monitor was, but I just don't know if I want to do that yet. And that leaves me with the motherboard and everything that still works. I mean, I've got a good air cooler. And then my wife will get mad at me. She's like, just built that computer. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll just hold out, see what happens with the video cards. They got the 3080s and 3090s out. They're rumoring, they have rumors that other stuff's going to be coming out, so. How you guys doing? Build back better? Yeah, because if I rebuild the PC, I'm going to rebuild it to where it's going to be good for a while. The build that I have right now, I want to say I did in 2018, so it's less than 2 years old when I built it. I just put the new video card in there. I just added more RAM to it. I've got like 32 gigs of RAM. I've got the DH15, which some of this stuff probably doesn't mean anything to you guys, but it's the Noctua DH15 air cooler, which is like this huge. I mean, the thing's like as big as my head. It's an air cooler in there. which is nice, but I feel like it restricts the airflow. So I feel that adds to the heat. So yeah. But yeah, so nothing really going on. So I figured I'd come on, do a short stream, say hello. Maybe I'll switch over and play a game. I don't know yet. I'm just kind of up in the air tonight. Just one of those do whatever nights. One of those go back and forth. Let's go back to this. So, like I was saying, I got my ballot. Let's see. Can I stream as I vote? I need to look that up because I don't want to break no laws. You guys know if there's anything about that? Let's see. Which states allow voters to share photos of their ballots online? Ready to explode, haven't been on edge. What's going on, Joe? Everything alright with you? Well, obviously, not necessarily. Joe, I don't know how close you are to like Muskegon, Michigan, or Janesville, Wisconsin. I know you're kind of up that way, but I think there's a couple Trump rallies coming up there. Those are the only ones I see up that way. SB 1515. Be it enacted by the people of the state of Oregon. Person may not pay money or otherwise valuable consideration to another person for obtaining signatures of electors, blah 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 blah. I don't know. I don't care. If I get in trouble, I'll get in trouble, right? Hey, DEFCON 0, welcome. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, normally I'm doing a multi-stream like SEAL Team right now, but not really a whole lot going on at the moment. And I think he's got the one stream of Portland covered, so I'll kind of let him handle that. I'm gonna sit here and do my vote since I got my vote. Yeah, I don't know where that is compared to the What I say was in Michigan. So if you haven't already, there's a Trump app on the phone, and you can get notified with like nearby events and everything. That's what I was looking at because I'm going to see Trump on Sunday. Going to a Trump rally on Sunday. But there's Muskegon, Muskegon, Michigan. Maybe about 2.5 hours from there. But yeah, there's a rally coming up there for Trump. All right, let's do some voting, shall we? So, United States President and Vice President. We have the options of Donald Trump and Mike Pence, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, Joe Jorgensen and Jeremy Spike Cohen, who is Libertarian. These other people I've never even heard of. Howie Hawkins and Angela Walker for the Pacific Green Party, and Dario Hunter and Don Neptune Adams for Progressive. Yeah, I think you guys have an idea of who I'm going to vote for on that one. Fill that in. Nice and solid for sure. All right. Next we have U.S. Senator. We have Joe Ray. This is for Oregon. We have Joe Ray Perkins. She's a Republican. We have Jeff Merkley. He's Democrat, Independent, Working Families. I think he's trying to manipulate the ballot with that one. I mean, are you a Democrat or are you Independent? Harris Pence, right in? Yeah, right. Like he identified with 3 different parties. I don't think that's acceptable. So I don't know. I don't like Jeff Merkley. Jeff Merkley's been in Oregon politics. I mean, the Oregon politicians have been in for years. So Jeff Merkley has been in Oregon politics for 32 years. They all seem to start with like the House of Representatives, and they switch over to the Senate seat. And then the other one is, he's not on here, but is Ron Wyden. He's been in for 39 years. Yeah, Merkley's 32, Wyden's 39 years. Berman Supreme. So, and then we have Abraham A. Thayer for Pacific Green Progressive Group, and Gary Dye for Libertarian. Well, I've already looked up Joe Ray Perkins. I'm going to run with her on that one. Mainly because I prefer her over, well, I pretty much prefer any of them over Merkley. I personally think there should be term limits. I don't think we should have people in these politics for 40 years. If you work your way up and it ends up being 40 years over a span of moving your way up, fine, but senators and whatnot, they need term limits. Alright, U.S. Representative 5th District. Vote for 1. Matthew James Ricks, he's a Libertarian. Amy Ryan Corser, she's a Republican. I showed her the other day. We talked about her, I think, a little bit on the Discord a while back. She's one. So she's an interesting one. So Amy Ryan Corser. So if you look at her campaign, I don't know if I have one around here somewhere. I have the voters pamphlet that I can look up the measures. But if you go and you see her like campaign image, she looks like this young Southern girl, blonde hair and everything like that. That looks like she rides horses or whatever. Like she's a rodeo girl or something. If you go and see some of her pictures in her gallery where she's met with people and everything like that, I think her campaign picture, they used a picture that's like 20 years old because she looks way younger in her main campaign picture than she does in her other unstaged images. But um, I like her. She's for police. She's for law and justice. I would like to get her in. Amy Ryan Corser. All right. Next, we have state offices. Secretary of State. We have Natalie Paravicini. Something, I don't know. Paravicini. She's Pacific Green Progressive. We have Kyle Markley, Libertarian. Kim Thatcher, Republican Independent. And Shemia Fagan, Democrat, Working Families. It's another one I looked up. Kim Thatcher, I already looked into her. She's got my vote. And yes, so far, my votes are Republican candidates, but based on what people are running on, that's kind of what I want. I don't want big government. I don't want what Democrats basically are about. I don't want what liberals are basically all about. I don't want what the communist people are all about. I don't want the taxes raised so we can add more government programs. I want taxes reduced. I want government programs to go away, and so we're not paying all this money into all these programs that don't work. I do believe that there are government programs out there that are important that taxes should go to, but the liberal side seems to always want to put in all this new stuff with no way of paying for it. And so that's what contributes to our deficit and our debts and everything, is because they want to add all this stuff in there with no way of paying for it. And so what they do is, to pay for some of this stuff, is they try and sneak, when the stuff doesn't pass in the ballots, they try and sneak the stuff in through riders. So riders are like what's been going on with the COVID-19, the latest the help with the COVID-19. So the liberal media, the liberals come out and say, "Oh, the Republicans aren't working with us. They don't want to. They just kick everything back." But the problem is, liberal media, or the liberals in the House, they're throwing all this junk in there that has nothing to do with COVID-19 or helping people. They have all this other slush stuff in there that they're trying to sneak in. And that's what I would say a good chunk of people don't realize. And they take everything at face value. They say, "Oh, the Republicans are bad because they don't want to pass a COVID-19 relief bill." But they don't realize that all this stuff is in there. And it's not just the liberals that do that. When it's the other way around, the Republicans do the same thing. That's why nothing ever gets done in politics, because they all want to throw their own little garbage in there that has nothing to do with the bill. And it's sickening. And I think that stuff should be banned. They shouldn't be allowed. It should go in there. And the only thing that should go in a bill should be stuff that's related to that bill. Because I don't think that's right. And like I said, both sides do it. Right now, you're hearing more of it on the Democrat side of it, because they're the ones that are crying that Republicans aren't trying to do anything. And Merkley just recently said, "Oh, they're not doing anything. We're trying to get $600." Well, Trump just did an executive order to do all that stuff, but Democrats don't like it because they can't throw all their extra junk in there. So that's why that's still a struggle. They did push out in Oregon an extra $300. So, like, if you were eligible for it, for the COVID relief, unemployment stuff, you got like $2,100, I think, from the time when the initial $600 one ended to 5 weeks after that. But that was it. It was like 5 weeks, $300 a week for like 5 weeks, and it came after the fact. So basically, if you're eligible from that point on, you got like $1,200, I think. No, $1,800. I don't know, something like that. 15. I don't. It wasn't that much. Yeah. Haven't heard back yet from that second job interview, so don't know what's going on with that. Um, I was one of 4 candidates that were remaining. Hopefully, I haven't heard back. Hopefully, I'll hear back from Monday. Hopefully, it's just a thing of because the headquarters corporate is back east. Hopefully, it's just a matter of getting HR to do up the offer letter and sending it to me. Um, I That'd be nice if that's what it is. So maybe I'll be lucky and I'll get an email on Monday, which Monday I'll be in Nevada on my way back from Nevada, but it's all good. All right, state treasurer. So this one we have Michael P. Marsh, who's Constitution Party. Tobias Reed, Democrat and Working Families Party. Chris Henry, Independent, Progressive, Pacific Green. Jeff Goodman, Republican. So this is one that I have not researched. I don't know if their stuff is in here. I don't know if this is just measures or what it is. Let's see if I can look. I'll look in here first. Some of the candidates or what? Nope, it doesn't have their stuff. So do I have anybody else in here from Oregon? Everybody from Washington and uh, California and stuff. Michigan. I don't see anything in here about them, so let's do some research. Let's go see what they're about. So first we will look up Michael Marsh. Michael P. Marsh. See, this is what everybody should do when they vote. They shouldn't just blindly go and select somebody just because they're a specific party or whatever. They should go see it, go find out what the person's about. Because nowadays, most of the voting nowadays isn't about, oh, I can't decide between these two people because they're so good. Voting anymore is, okay, this guy's a piece of garbage, this guy's a piece of garbage. This guy will probably do better, which I guess makes him a little bit less than a piece of garbage, so I'll vote for him. I mean, like, yeah. Like, I'll say it. For Trump, for instance, I'm not a Trump fan. I am, but I'm not. I want a lot of the policies he was pushing, I was for. I want the policies that he's been pushing, and he's doing a lot more stuff that's non-political, which we need because everything anymore is political, and he doesn't care what anybody thinks. And I don't want Biden in there. I think Biden is just a pathway to like Harris getting presidency. I don't think I don't even know if Biden gets elected, I don't even know if he would make it a year. I think he would become so overwhelmed with it at his mental capacity that he would probably not be able to continue as president, and that would probably put Harris in there. And yeah, maybe she would suck the life out of him. That's how she'd get in there. I don't know. Uh, um, but yeah, I yeah. So if a Democrat came along and had like a lot of the same policies as Trump does, I vote for Democrat. I don't know, or if Libertarian or Pacific Green or Progressive, if they had those more conservative policies that meant smaller government, lower taxes, more capitalism and everything, then I would go for it. But right now, all these people want to just give more money to the government so we can hand it out to everybody else. I mean, liberals are becoming more and more and more socialist. It's scary. All right, what we're looking at, Michael P. Marsh. You have a website. Ballotpedia. See what that has to say. Constitution Party. Oh, this guy's kind of scary looking. He looks like one of those doctors that, I don't know. Oh, they already have numbers. Oh, the primary. So the primary basically went Goodman versus Tobias. But there was nobody else. These people are all run like... Nobody's even going against them. So how do I find his... Does he have a website around here? Ballotpedia, Statesman Journal, Just Facts, Oregon Votes. Like, how are you running for like a state elected official position and you don't even have a web page? Like, that's one of the first steps is a web page. Running for the treasurer. How do I know how he can handle money? So I don't know anything about this guy. I can't find any information on him. So I can't find anything about you. I can't vote for you. Tobias Reed. Oh, I agree. I think social programs are needed too, but I think they need to be better managed. Right now, all they're doing is just throwing money out there. They just throw money at stuff to fix it. Tobias Reed. Oh, he must be the current treasurer. Yeah, he's the current. So what is he running on? Decades retirement savings plans have been out of which hey pop-ups. Leaving seniors and people near retirement wondering how they're gonna pay. Parents worry they won't be able to pay for kids' tuition. He wants a stronger financial plan. He was elected 29th State Treasurer, 2016. Well, I don't think he really stands up against Kate Brown. I've read reports that COVID relief from the feds have only been distributed to like Multnomah and like Washington counties, like a couple of counties, and they're still holding on to the money for the rest of the state. So I don't know if I could go with somebody like that because I don't trust him. But let's see what these others have. Chris Henry. He's got a website. Chris Henry for State Treasurer. Stop the Wall Street ripoff of Oregon. State invests almost 100% in business outside of Oregon. That's true. Use the chain. Borrow from the state. Let the state borrow from the feds. He wants an Oregon State Public Bank. He needs a better editor for his website. So he says, let's talk about public bank. It says, beyond the Oregon Progressive Party positions, I strongly support the formation of a public bank for the state of Oregon, and blah 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 blah. And the last sentence says, more information on pubic, not public, pubic banks is available from Public Banking Institute. So I'm pretty sure that's been up there for a while and it hasn't been fixed. It's irrelevant, but to me that makes a difference. If you got something that poorly edited, somebody had to have told him by now. How do you have pubic bank on your main page and voters pamphlet statement? Let's see. He was a union truck driver, YRC Freight, aircraft mechanic. He went to Portland State University as a student. Apparently he didn't get a degree. This says it includes $223 million in an Israeli company whose smartphone spyware has just been used against dissidents, human rights defenders, journalists, 2 prison companies that run immigrant detention facilities. Well, I thought states could not. I thought state governments could not work with international. I thought state governments couldn't work with like international companies. I thought it had to go through like the feds. I could be wrong, but I thought there were like laws against that. No special interests are funding my campaign. Co-chair for 2 neighborhood associations. I don't know. He doesn't really stand out to me either. And we have Jeff Goodman. Changes. jeffgoodman.org. State Treasurer. He's got a decent website. Got endorsements from Tigard, Canby, Redmond, Happy Valley, Tom Potter, former mayor, Sandy. So he's got lots of endorsements. Clackamas Chamber of Commerce, Small Business Association. Coalition of Police and Sheriffs. See what his platform is. He was on the Lake Oswego City Council. He was Budget Hawk. Huh. Alright. I think I will go with him. So Jeff Goodman for State Treasurer. I want somebody who takes care of money. Yeah, I spend too much. I could never be a state treasurer. I would not be a good state treasurer. Alright, who's next? Oh, this one. So, Attorney General. I'm gonna have to look up this libertarian, Lars Hedberg. So, Ellen Rosenblum is the current one. She supports Antifa, she supports BLM, she's made Twitter comments and everything, supporting the stuff that's going on in Portland, and putting down the Patriots and everybody else, throwing out the whole white supremacist names and stuff like that. So definitely not voting for Rosenblum. I had one of her representatives reach out to me and tried convincing me that she was the right candidate, and I questioned them on some of her comments and tweets, and they didn't have anything to say. So yeah, so Ellen Rosenblum's out. Let's look up this Lars Hedberg, see what he's like. If not, we'll go with Michael Cross. Now, I'm not fully comfortable with Michael Cross because this is the Attorney General. This is somebody that should be very familiar with laws, be it being an attorney or something like that. Somebody who's worked with laws to really understand the laws. Now, I've heard Michael Cross speak before, talk about a few things, throw a few key points out there, but he's not an attorney. He hasn't worked in any type of law stuff, so I'm not fully comfortable with him, but I'd still rather take him over the Ellen Rosenblum. But I'm gonna look up this Lars Hedberg, see what this person's all about. He or she, I think. He's a libertarian. He's a writer. Tales from a Revolution, stories from the neglected corners of our national origins. So he's a writer. He's written several books. I'm not sure what a writer's going to do for as an attorney general, like a historian. Let's see. Does he have his own? Got a Facebook page. Let's see what his Facebook page looks like. Product manager, Epicor. He served in the military, sounds like, because he studied Korean and at the DLI. He's from Vermont. All right, so he's got a profile picture that says "Not a sucker, not a loser." Looks like his previous Air Force uniform. So he wants to take a jab there. Looks like we're going with Michael Cross. Don't know if he really has a chance. It's depressing that that's the Republican choice we have, but I'm going to go with him anyways. I mean, what worse could he do? Obviously, our Attorney General isn't doing anything but suing Trump anyways, so. Alright, so we've got state representative for the district. We got Mark Meek and Josh Howard. Already looked into that one. We got Josh Howard going. Judges, you know what I've noticed in my years of voting? Hey Red Star One, how you doing? I'm just going through filling out my ballot. My votes. But in my years of voting, I've noticed that there is very rarely people challenging judges. Like it's always the incumbent judge and nobody else. And I don't know any judges or attorneys that I know of. I might know them and not realize that they're a judge or attorney, but yeah, never see them. County offices, so I'm in Clackamas County. Talks myself, but who cares? Commissioner for position 4, we got Ken Humbertston and Mark Scholl. I met Mark Scholl, good guy, Vietnam veteran, former colonel in the military. Yeah, when I did my one and only IRL stream at a Patriot rally, he actually came out, and he's been out to a few. So, so yeah, we've had a few of them, or he's been to a few of them. So he supports the police. He goes out and does stuff, whether it's for his election or not. I don't care. He's out there actually doing it, so he's got my vote. Then we have the county sheriff, Clackamas County Sheriff. Now this is a confusing one. I was looking at this earlier. So I remember earlier in the primaries, the choices, I can't say that I'm completely satisfied. I was talking about a few minutes ago how I feel like anymore we're voting for who we don't want in there, as opposed to, I don't feel like there's a challenge between two good candidates that our decision is based on, oh, I can't tell if I want this one or that one, and there's only like a tipping point because they're both good. Anymore, it's like both of these candidates suck, but this person is gonna do. This person's not gonna do as bad for the country as this person, or this one's not gonna do as bad for the state as this one, or city, or county, or whatever. And I feel like anymore, I don't feel like there's very good options for these positions. There's a few people running right now, but that are okay. But some of them, like I was talking about, Michael Cross for Attorney General. He's got no law background or anything. He will talk about a few different cases and everything when people talk to him, but I would prefer somebody in an attorney general position to have like some type of law background, even if they went to law school and never even practiced law, if they actually had some type of law degree or something. But somebody who hasn't done any of that, I don't feel comfortable with. However, his opponent is the incumbent is Ellen Rosenblum, who supports BLM Antifa. She has openly spoken out, talking about calling people white supremacists, people she don't even know, stuff like that, and I've called her out for that. And then Lars Hedberg, who likes to bash the president. So yeah, and that is a problem. Red Star one. That's what exactly what I'm talking about. Because like what I mentioned before is like Trump. Okay, I I like the direction of a lot of Trump's policies. I like getting rid of a lot of the garbage in the government, bringing down taxes, reducing government spending, and everything like that. I like the straightforward bluntness or whatever of Trump. But on the other hand, he he is not very presidential. He's not very professional, I would say. So you would think a guy with his experience, business, and everything like that would have a much more professional demeanor, but his I'm not going to deny his behavior, how he talks, how he behaves is to me is not professional. But on the other hand, his policy and his direction, I prefer that over the alternative of Biden Harris. I preferred that over the alternative previously of Clinton. Um, but yeah, well, you can have his policies and everything and his straightforward to the point stuff, whatever, without his. You can have all that stuff and still be professional, and a lot of his behavior is very unprofessional. But again, he's got my vote because yeah, threat of war with China should Trump get elected. I don't know. I was reading that China's been building up their military, getting them prepared, telling them to stand by, be ready for war. So I don't know if it's a matter of they're waiting for the election. I know that tensions have been high between China and the U.S., but we've also had a lot more communication between China and the U.S. than what I've seen in the past. Before it was just kind of China was over there, U.S. is over here, and that's one thing with Trump is that he is getting rid of all these programs that allow other countries to that hurt our countries. So he's trying to bring all these jobs back. What I witnessed over the years is a lot of jobs were going overseas, like even components of jobs, and it's cheaper to have the work done overseas than to do it here. And so we lose jobs here, they gain jobs, and we get crappier material. We have a throwaway society right now. You go out buy a TV for $200, it breaks 6 months in a year, throw it away, you go get a new one. Kirby vacuums used to have I know, right, Joe? Uh, uh, used to have like Kirby vacuums where the you'd have people would get vacuums and the vacuum would break or something go on with the vacuum. They would take it in and have it repaired. They wouldn't throw it in the garbage, throw it into the dump, and go out and buy another one. And that's the society we need to go back to. If they need to be a little bit more expensive right now, and gradually we work to bring that price down, that is what we need. We need to go back to a society that is not a throwaway society. I don't think it's good because I mean you're just piling up, piling. I'm not a environmentalist person or anything like that, but you can't deny the piles and piles and piles of trash that we have. As the world population grows, we're consuming or we're creating more trash, and if we're living in a throwaway, if we have a throwaway mentality, then a repair and save mentality, then it's just going to pile on more and more. Yeah, and I mean, made in America used to mean something. Nowadays, it's becoming the same thing as made in China or anything else. It's like, okay, it breaks, go get another one. And part of that, what we've been seeing is because you have manufacturers in the US that will send the product out. So take the paper industries, for instance. So it is cheaper for the paper industry to take trees, cut down trees, send the wood overseas to China or whatever. They convert it into paper and then send it back to us. It's cheap. How is it cheaper for us to do that than for us to actually make the paper ourselves? There's many paper mills here in the country, but they're dying. They're slowly going away. I mean, over the past 20 years, I've seen many paper companies. I mean, they stink, so that's a plus. But I've seen many paper companies go away. They struggle, and then they finally just shut down for good. And that's because it's becoming cheaper to send a product overseas to have made and brought back. So he's putting on these tariffs. He's changing up all this trade stuff with China, Canada, Mexico. So it doesn't benefit these companies to send these products overseas to have them cheaply made. I think if it's cheaper to send materials overseas to have it turned into a product and sent back to us, then we're doing something wrong. Either we need to add a tariff on that to where it's more expensive. It's got to be more cost effective to create a product here in the States than it is to send it overseas. And that's what creates jobs. You keep the work here. That's where you create the jobs. You keep allowing these companies to make it cheaper to send the work out overseas. There goes the jobs. But yeah, that's my rant on that stuff. But yeah, going back, County Sheriff Angela Brandenburg. So this one was confusing me when I was looking over this earlier. So we had primaries back in, what was it, March or something like that, and there was like 4 or 5 candidates for county sheriff. What was the point of doing the primary then, and now we have that actual official election in November, and we only have one candidate on there? I mean, was the primary it? That's one thing I don't understand, that I don't know. Is that something that's just selected in the primary? I don't know. It doesn't make sense. I would think that if it's a one and done thing, then why bother with a primary? Save it for the actual election in November. Focus more money towards R&D for space and energy, medical. Make it all here so the U.S. is on the path of allowing the next generation. Yeah, and those are the types of policies that Trump has. He's trying to keep all that stuff here. He's trying to. I mean, his policies are to make the country better, and other policies from other candidates or whatnot don't do that. They make the country worse, and their actions, their past actions and everything have shown that their actions will have a negative effect on the country, the future of the country. So yeah, so I don't. Hey, Mr. Flippy Flops, welcome to the U.S. But I think we need a president like Trump that is focused on the U.S. Like I said, his professional tact sucks. There is none, but we need a president that is focused on the country. And Biden, Harris isn't it. The Jorgensen, Cohen aren't it. Hawkins and Walker, Hunter and Adams. Those people, their focus is not for the country. They're not to improve the country. And so that's why Trump's got my vote. Hopefully, in 4 more years, we'll have. I mean, and I don't say he's got my vote because he's Republican and I lean conservative. I lean right on this stuff. He has my vote because of that stuff. If a Democrat came out and said, "I'm going to do all this stuff to have these jobs in our country, and I'm going to basically make the U.S. what it once was, because it's not what it once was. Uh, the U.S. is the U.S. I mean, to like third world countries and everything, yeah, the U.S. is great, but the countries that are more on our level, we have our limitations. Yeah, and that's what I'm talking about is professionalism and his tact. Now in his defense, he's been getting attacked from the day he announced his candidacy for president. So he has been getting attacked from that point now. So it's hard to have a united system when everybody is out to get you from that day one. Now, the Republicans have kind of turned. They've turned more in his favor, whereas initially they didn't support him. They weren't in favor of him. Many of the elected Republicans talked down about Trump. Didn't want Trump in there, but when he came in and started pushing the policies and everything, he showed them that he was about America. He was a patriot. Yeah, Red Star, and that's my thing. Like, if a Democrat, regardless of what their political party is, that's why I've gone through most of them. I've gone through and I've already looked at what they're running on, what their platform is, and the only one so far that I've had to look up tonight that I hadn't looked at before was the Attorney General one, because, like I said, Michael Cross has no law experience, history, or whatever he's looked up on Google or whatever. That's his experience. Rosenblum has called everybody out as being a white supremacist, doesn't know anything about him, supports the rioting and the destruction downtown. I've called her out on it, didn't get no response on it because one of her officials or one of her representatives or whatever reached out to me, was trying to convince me to vote for her, and I questioned her comments on that stuff, and they couldn't answer that, and I said, okay, you don't have my vote. If that's the attitude, you don't have my vote. Many of the politicians we have right now in Oregon are, the whole focus is on Trump. Rosenblum has spent the past 4 years trying to sue Trump, or she has been suing Trump. Merkley, like, if you look at his Twitter feed, almost every tweet that he has is something against Trump. And he even tries to call Trump out on the COVID thing. Trump went out and did a executive order for COVID relief because Democrats couldn't put forward a bill that was strictly for COVID relief. They wanted to throw on all their BS writers in there that had nothing to do with COVID. That's why you haven't seen anything out of Congress for COVID, because they want to say, oh, while we have this in here, let's throw this thing in here for immigrants or visas or whatever, something that is absolutely irrelevant to COVID relief. Hey babe, how you doing? That's all good. But yeah, so that's where I come from with my politics and stuff like that. Again, I mean, go back to Bill Clinton. I voted for Bill Clinton. I like Bill Clinton. He had policies. He came out and with welfare. He actually wanted to reduce welfare. He came out and said, hey, I want a system where people on welfare need to be on a path of getting off welfare. He came in with that. That didn't happen or whatever. He got blocked on that or whatever. I don't know what happened with that. That went away. But it's stuff like that that I want politicians to come in and do. Thank you. I appreciate that. I mean, like that's what we need politicians to do. Hey, I want to go in and let's review the welfare system. We understand that in a lot more poor neighborhoods, it becomes a cycle system where it goes from one generation to the next generation. What is causing that? How do we end that? We have people that have been on welfare most of their adult life. Why is that? Why are they allowed to stay on there? What can we? Would it be cheaper for us to have somebody on? If somebody's on welfare, would it be cheaper for us to put them through school, even if it's a community college? Put them in school, provide like daycare if they have kids, or they likely have kids. That's probably why they're on. That's why they're on daycare. But put their kids in a daycare or welfare. I'm sorry. Put their kids in a daycare, the short amount of time, or some type of care system while they attend school, so they can do school, get some type of degree, get on path for something, and get into an employment plan so they can get off welfare instead of just saying, well, I'm stuck at home with my kids every day, I can't do nothing, so I'm just going to stay on welfare till I turn 18. And that's what's happening. And we need a system that says, hey, look, in order for you to stay on welfare, just like they have unemployment, you have to do job searches, you have to apply, submit resumes or whatever, do interviews. Welfare should be the same way. You're going to be on welfare. These are the standards and conditions you have to meet. If some cases, if that means you have to take a P test to say, hey, I'm not spending my welfare money that's meant to support my kids on drugs, then you have to take a P test. I don't care. If you want that, that's what you're going to do. If you are offended because they want to make sure that you're not on drugs, then figure out how to support your family some other way. And I agree with police reforms too. I think a lot of laws need reforms. One of them is actually on here, but there's people that are in prison for years, decades, that are still in prison for a minor marijuana possession or something like that. I think, depending on what the conditions are with the drugs that they have, should affect it. But I don't think there's, if somebody had a bag of marijuana on them, I don't think they should be in jail or prison longer than somebody who beat somebody up so bad that they put him in the hospital, or nearly killed somebody, or attempted to murder somebody, or stuff like that. I think the victimless crimes, I don't think they should go away, because they're still crimes. That's why they're crimes. But I think that the punishments should be reviewed. But a little bit later, when I get to that, I'm going to go back into the measure to look more into it to make sure I'm making the right choice on it. And like you talk about police reforms also, so a lot of what we see right now with BLM and Antifa, they're out there screaming, we need to make all these changes. Police are abusive. They're beating everybody up. Well, going out there and doing what you do every night is not the process that you make change. If you want to make change, you go to the politician, say, hey, meet with your leader, your little group, whatever, figure out what your ideas are, have that person go, or two people go as a representative to the legislature, the mayors, whoever is making those decisions, making those changes. Say, hey, these are the issues that we're having right now. Let's discuss ways how we can address these issues. And that's how you get reform and you fix stuff. You don't go out there and start fires and assault police officers and try and get them in gotcha moments with the camera saying, oh, look, they just threw me to the ground. Let's not discuss that I was just threw a Molotov cocktail at him, or I was just throwing rocks at him, or I was shooting pellets at him with a slingshot, or throwing frozen water bottles at him, or throwing paint on him, or any of that stuff. Let's not discuss what I was just doing. Let's just talk about how the cop just came and pushed me to the ground. That's bogus. That's not how you make change. You want to make change, you sit down and have an adult conversation to make change. And people keep wanting to compare this to like civil rights movements, Hardesty. Oh, this is a civil rights movement. I grew up in the civil rights movement. She was like 3 years old during the civil rights movement. She supports all this stuff. She had an opportunity to really shoot down what happened Sunday night. So she's supposed to be for the people of color. She's a woman of color, black woman, and she's supposed to be supporting all this stuff. They go into the historic society, vandalize the building, destroy an African American quilt, and she says, oh, I don't agree with the violence, but what we need to focus on is what the white supremacists did earlier this weekend. White supremacists aren't out there destroying stuff. People who you're calling white supremacists aren't even white supremacists. And yes, the punishment should match the crime. And it goes both ways. I mean, like, look at California. California's becoming so soft in criminals, and some of the criminals they shouldn't be soft on. You got the swimmer, the college swimmer or whatever, that was caught raping a girl. He spent 4 months in jail. What is that? He should have spent a lot more longer time, and supposedly because he was a good kid or something. I don't know. That I call bogus on that. You have the mom in California that she's in prison for I think 5 years or something like that because she lied about her address. She was homeless and she wanted her kid to have a good education, so she lied about her address so her kid could go to a better school and get a better education. So she went to prison for 5 years for that. And then you have these celebrities that were hired or had somebody that got their kids into the Ivy League schools or whatever by paying for that, and they got nothing, a slap on the wrist. Exactly. And you got to be open-minded about everything. And my wife says I'm right, my wife says I'm wrong. I'm both. You have to be able to admit that and recognize that and have your open head so you can know to understand that, oh yeah, I'm wrong about that. All right, moving on. Got commissioner positions. I don't know who these people are. I'm going to look them up. I'm not going to mention their names, but let's see who they are. Let's see if I can find them. Who endorses her? Same people. I don't know. Thank you, Red Star. I really appreciate it. So she's got a lot of experience. That's good. I like her experience. Who endorses her again? I like her. I don't know about that state representative that supports her. Alright, let's see. What's this other one here? Yeah, that woman, she had a lot of planning experience and everything. Let's see. I don't see a website for him. Got a Facebook page. Yeah, he's for somebody who's running for office, even his Facebook page, that's the only thing he has, and it doesn't really have.
Hello. My name is Inigo Montoya.
$2. What's up, SEAL Team? Thank you.
Here to die.
SEAL Team 711 donated $2. Checker DMS and Tifa.
Uh-oh. You're funny. The SEAL Team's a hater. Gatorade. Alright, so yeah, this guy's not getting my vote because he has doesn't really have any information out there. He just says, hey, elect me. Here's a picture of the city. Here's another picture of the city. Here's another picture of the city. Yeah. Sorry, dude. That's not how you get my vote. I think next year, because I just bought my house here in January, so obviously I can't run for position, but next year I may consider running for a position. I don't know. I might generate enough hate by then that I won't get elected for anything, but I might consider it. I just need to get out and meet more people. I'm not very good at networking. That's my problem. This is my networking here. All right, let's go look up these people. Oh, he doesn't have a page. I don't see any. Oh, here we go. He does have a page. Wasn't showing. Guy needs a haircut. I give him a haircut. What has he accomplished? 15 years of leadership experience. He completed a program at Cornell University, earning a certificate in diversity and inclusion. Yeah, sometimes so if they have their Facebook, if I can't find their website, they'll have a Facebook page or something up there. I'll go to their Facebook page, and usually they'll have the link there. Let's see. Had the privilege, the white privilege, serving Oregonians. DHS. He's worked in pro wrestling. Huh. He doesn't really have a whole lot that really stands out to me, so. See what this other guy has. He's an incumbent. What does he figure he's just a shoo-in? Well, if I can't find anything on him, then I don't know if I can go for him. Alright. Sorry, dude. Gotta put effort if you want to be elected. Because you're already there. I don't know you. Alright. This one, opposition, so help you there. No opposition. Position. All right, on to the measures. Yep, everybody here. On to the measures. Printed on the ballot. You know, these impact statements are garbage. They're not accurate. They don't give you enough information. All right, referred to the people by the Legislative Assembly. So that means that it wasn't the voters that put this up there. This was the legislature. Amends Measure 107 amends Constitution. Allows laws limiting political campaign contributions and expenditures, requiring disclosure of political campaign contributions and expenditures, requiring political campaign advertisements to identify who paid for them. Result of yes vote. Yes vote allows laws created by the Legislative Assembly, local governments, or voters that limit contributions and expenditures made to influence an election. Allows laws that require disclosure of contributions and expenditures made to influence the election. Allows laws require blah 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 blah. No vote retains current laws. Courts finds the Oregon Constitution does not allow laws limiting campaign expenditures. Laws limiting are allowed if the text of the law does not target expression. So I'm going to vote yes for this because I think if you're going for a public office, I think that people deserve to know where the money's coming from, because if you have some type of influencer that says, hey, it'll throw up those red flags. You get $50,000 or whatever from this organization that you could influence that organization based on your position. I think that would be questionable. So I think that's what's important. Have you been stalking me, babe? Did you go look at my about section? I don't really use the Facebook page that I have, to be honest with you. I think I've uploaded a couple of videos to it, but I don't use it. Every once in a while I got notifications saying somebody viewed it, but All right, measure 108. Increases cigarette and cigar taxes, establishes tax on e-cigarettes and nicotine vaping devices, funds health program. Increases cigarette tax by $2 per pack, increases cap on cigar taxes. So, I'm gonna vote no on this. I don't smoke. I used to smoke. I smoked for many, many, many years. But I think, I mean, I don't like smoke anymore. I don't like the smell of it. But I think this is kind of bogus to just say, hey, let's go slap $2 tax on these. I mean, people that smoke a pack a day, 2 packs a day, and it's an addiction, it's tough, and you're gonna throw $2 more a pack on there. I don't think that's right. If you want to add a smaller one, a smaller tax that goes up, like if you said, okay, we want to do $2, but it's going to be 50 cents per year, so in a few years, 4 years, it goes up, it's $2 by then. Okay, I can go with that, but just to say, okay, here's $2 we're going to add to the pack of cigarettes, which I don't even know how much they are now. I know in Washington when I was buying them before I quit, they were like $9 a pack. Everybody went to Oregon because they were always cheaper in Oregon, but I know the prices were going up in Oregon too. But yeah, I can't go for just slapping a tax on there like that. Sorry. Even though the money's good, go for health stuff and everything, I don't think that's the right way to do it. Like I said, a gradual one that goes up to $2 over 2 years, fine, but not just like, hey, we're gonna charge you a whole bunch more right off the bat. Proposed by initiative petition allows manufacturer delivery. This is 109. Manufacturer delivery administrative psilocybin supervised licensed facilities. Proposes 2-year development period. Result of yes vote allows manufacturer delivery administration of psilocybin psychoactive mushroom at supervised licensed facilities. So they want to give people psychedelic mushrooms. Proposes 2-year development program, creates enforcement taxation system advisor. I need to look that up. What? Who do they want to give mushrooms to? Page 92. Be it enacted by the people of the state of Oregon, and that Oregon has one of the highest prevalence of mental illness adults in the nation. An estimated 1 in every 5 adults in Oregon is coping with mental health conditions. The government has declared addiction as a public health crisis. In 2019-21, the Governor's Board proposes spending over $2.8 billion in mental health and behavioral health programs. They demonstrate substantial improvement over. All right, so apparently, Food and Drug Administration has admitted that they could help people with suffering from psychological illnesses. So you're gonna address a mental illness by making them a drug addict. Is that what I'm getting? Because you're gonna supervise them getting these drugs, but if they become a drug addict, they're gonna find ways to get these drugs outside if they feel they're not getting them enough. To me, it sounds like it's just going to cost money too. Sorry, I don't think I can go for this. Sorry. No can do. Alright, the highly talked about nosy mess, yes. Measure 110. So this is a popular one in Oregon. So it provides statewide addiction recovery services. Marijuana taxes partially finance it and reclassifies possession and penalties for specified drugs. Now, this here seems like there's multiple parts that should be separate, that they combine them together. So a yes vote on this says vote provides addiction recovery centers services, marijuana taxes partially finance, reduces revenues for other purposes, reclassifies possession of specified drugs, reduces penalties, and requires audits. And no rejects it. But you want to take money, you want to get financing for marijuana taxes and put it toward to address drug addiction and recovery. But then you also want to reclassify the penalties or whatever for other drugs. That doesn't make sense. Two different things. So let's go pull up the book. Some more details of it. Oh, some of these things, the sections are so long. 128. Now, I'm sure people are going to come back and say, oh, you didn't do a very good job researching this stuff and everything, but you know what? I don't care. All right. So, in summary, so this is the important part. The summary should be what they have in here, not the little talking point thing. So, measure mandates establishment and funding of addiction recovery centers within each existing coordinated care organization's service by October 1st, 2021. You would think that we would already have something. Centers provide drug users with triage, health assessments, treatment, and recovery services. The fund centers measured dedicates all marijuana tax revenue above $11 million quarterly, legislative appropriations, and any savings from reductions in arrests, incarcerations, supervision resulting from the measure reduces marijuana tax revenue for other uses. Measure reclassifies personal non-commercial possession of certain drugs under a specified amount from misdemeanor or felony, depending on the person's criminal history, to a Class E violation, subject to either a $100 fine or a completed health assessment by center. So they didn't list the drugs on there. Hey Lori, how you doing? What's the 7? I don't know. But yeah, so where are the drugs? So I remember reading about this. They say punishing people who are suffering from addiction ruin lives. Well, they don't just ruin their own lives, they ruin other people's lives too. Now, if they didn't want to drop it down to a $100 fine, then I might reconsider it. But let's see. And why can't they just leave that part alone? Why can't they just say, hey, these taxes are going to go for these recovery centers and address it there? Because if these recovery centers work, that'll help reduce. That should essentially help reduce these addictions themselves. So it should be a moot point. Obviously not a total moot point, because we'll always have people that are addicted to drugs. Let's see here. Marijuana. Controlled substance in Schedule 1 is guilty of Class A felony except as otherwise provided. Unlawful possession of methadone, oxycodone. Measure eliminates criminal penalties for possession of specified quantities of controlled substances by adults and juveniles involving heroin, cocaine, methamphetamine, MDMA, LSD, psilocybin. So, one of the measures they wanted money to give patients psilocybin. Here they want to. It's a crime. Methadone, oxycodone. Yeah, I can't go for that. Pages and pages of arguments in favor. Of course, people that want to add this stuff and not be arrested for it. Dude, it's funny, is like a lot of these statements in favor were by physicians. And then the argument against says physicians take an oath to do no harm. Yet physicians are supporting basically decriminalizing possession of these drugs. And we've already got a huge methamphetamine problem along the I-5 corridor. And Portland's bad right now, and we're just getting more drugs in there, and we don't need to reduce the criminal the crime of it having this. What we need to do is address the issue itself, and decriminalizing it doesn't address the issue. It just basically says, oh, we can brush that off because we don't have to worry about that because it's not illegal anymore. So because it's not illegal anymore, it's just the problem's just going to grow. So yeah, no on 110. I believe, was it Lars Larson, I think, had a short thing about it the other day. I don't know, I listen to him sometimes. Almost done. We got like 4 left. I think they're local measures though. Let's see. 5-year local option levy for children's safety services. Clackamas County local children's services 5-year levy, 15 cents per thousand assessed value. So I've got a really high property tax value right now, and 15 cents per thousand probably doesn't seem like much. Calculate that up. That can't be right. Oh no, hold on. So it's not horrible. So this 15 cents per thousand basically be like $65 or whatever a year. This may cause property taxes to increase more than 3%. Yeah, I think that's more than 3%. Is that on here? Yeah, I wish I had more information. That doesn't give me much information on it. Oh, that should tell me. Maybe. Here we go. Measure would finance the Clackamas Children's Safety Fund, dedicated to providing a full array of child abuse and neglect prevention, child safety services for Clackamas County children and youth impacted by violence, abuse, and neglect. Program to be administered by Clackamas County Board of County Commissioners, appoints Children's Services Committee with members from across the county. One member to be from the County Commission. The committee will oversee an open and competitive grant application process and will serve in an advisory capacity to the Board of Commissioners, who will have grant awarding authority. Reference to nonprofit service providers that serve Clackamas County youth. Each service provider required to furnish performance measures, monitoring requirements, outcomes, and annual progress report. So, estimated $8 million, what it'll generate. What do you guys think? I mean, it's for the kids, it's for the violence and abuse, so it's hard for me to say no to that. I mean, especially, so, let's see. Go back to this. By 12 months. $5 a month. If is $5 a month that bad to help kids dealing with abuse and neglect and everything like that? I think I can. I think I can go for that. It's probably going to fail because tax increases, levies, pretty much fail anymore. Especially right now. Right now is probably not the best time on trying to get people to pay more when people are struggling to pay their bills right now. So I will vote in favor of it, even though it's likely going to fail. And two reasons it's likely going to fail. One, it's an increase in property tax, which, again, we've already got high property tax as it is. And then two, COVID. People are out of jobs. People are struggling. Yeah. Yeah, we have. All right, next one. Let's see, placement of underground water facility in Johnstorm Park. So, I don't even know where that's at. Let me look where that's at. I don't even have a park near me. I don't even recognize that park. Oh, I know where that's at. Or no, I don't. Alright, let's see what the information says about it. Where we at? As far as voter approval, grant a property and grant a property interest in the park for the construction of permanent structures. So they want a treatment thing that sends wastewater into the river and doesn't cost anything. The company's going to do it, but there'll be improvements to the park and everything. So I think so. I mean, it's probably better having it treated before it goes into the river, or it even just goes into the river by itself. So I can go with approval on that. So it's right below the highway, so I do have, hopefully it doesn't affect the structural integrity of the highway passing by over top. See? See. Funds traffic safety transit improvements programs through tax. Metro fund. No. Have merge fire districts. Yeah. So it will probably hurt our fire district. But I think I'm done. Look at that. Both sides. Hold on. I can't seal this up yet because I had to give it to the wife because the wife needs me to tell her what to vote for. Oh. So here we are. It is going on 11 o'clock here at night. I done voted. We discussed my computer issues. We discussed the monitor. We discussed my trip to Nevada. Go see Trump. With SEAL Team. And again, I don't have riots up tonight. I know a lot of people like to come here and see the protests and the riots, but there's nothing to see. They are sitting at the Big Red House on Mississippi Avenue playing music. I don't even want to turn the music on. They're wearing some weird masks and stuff. I don't even want to. I'm scared to hear what it sounds like. So, yeah. So I think I am going to call it a night. Thank you all for hanging out. Those of you who are here. I know it's not the usual night, but it was fun and nice and relaxing. Had some nice beats in the background. I don't know if I had them turned up enough. I don't know if you guys heard them or not, but nice, easy, kind of a political discussion. You guys got to hear some more of kind of where I come from, where I stand on politics and everything. Yeah. Oh, I'll be here for presidential coverage, for the election coverage. I'll be here for the riot coverage. It's gonna be a mess. Honestly, I don't even know how it's gonna turn out, because if the whole country is doing like mail-in ballots, are they gonna have all the ballots in by November 3rd? If November 3rd is the day that you vote, are you gonna? Do you have until November? I mean, hold on. This tells me, this had the dates on it. Turn it in by... Yeah. The ballot must be received by 8 p.m. on election night. So, November 3rd. Is it November 3rd, right? Or am I messing my dates up? So November 3rd, 8 p.m. Pacific time. So it's going to be 11 o'clock by the time the final ballot comes in. Then they have to count it at 11 o'clock Eastern time. So I'm pretty sure we will be getting numbers for a couple of days. Yeah, 2 weeks. That doesn't surprise me. And it's going to be a mess in those 2 weeks. I bet you we're going to see a lot of what we saw recently, like with the mailboxes being broken into, ballots being found on the side of the road, and everything. I think this election is going to be a mess. It's going to be a cluster, and I think probably what's going to happen is you're going to see the Democrats come out on top. They're going to say, "Yay, we won!" But there's going to be all these issues of ballots out there, mailboxes broken in, all these questionable things happen, and the Republicans are going to say, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa! Look at this. We can't accept this. This was a mess." But we shall see. I mean, I always hope everything goes smooth, just like protests tonight. I hope they remain peaceful. I hope elections go smooth. I hope outcomes are good. Whoever wins, I hope it improves the country and things get better. We're a big mess right now, and we need a lot of help internally. So, I want to thank you guys. Thanks for hanging out. You guys are awesome. I love you. You rock. Have a good night, and I will not be on tomorrow night because, well, I take that back. I might be on for a few minutes, so keep an eye out. I will be on the road with SEAL Team 711, heading to Nevada, and I might pop in with a IRL stream while we're driving, so we could all say hello. We'll see. Do they even have where you can vote in person? I thought everything was mail-in now. I thought even if, like, you can go drop your ballot off at the ballot box, but I thought everything was like, I didn't think they had actual voting in person. But yeah, so I might pop in for a minute tomorrow night on the drive. We'll see. But you guys have a good night. Be safe. Be blessed. I love you.